What's up, everyone? It's been a long time since I posted something. I was watching this video a little bit and it was really interesting. So I wanted to watch it fully with all of you and share it with all of you. So let's get right into it.
How are you?
Hi, Godfather. I'm fine. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I am 24.
24. All right, what do you got for me? What are we talking about today?
Okay, so I'm dating somebody that's like 8 years older than me, and I know that I want to get married, and I'm kind of like at this point where I want to know, like, at what point am I wasting my time? Because we've been dating for like about 6 months now. Like, at what
One thing that I don't understand is why is it that women can't wear their natural hair? I just don't understand that.
point would I be just wasting my time?
How old are you?
24.
And how he said he's 8 years older than you?
Why not flaunt your natural hair? To me, that costs more money and it's way more upkeep than just keeping up your natural hairstyle. I don't get it.
Mhm.
All right. What has your father met him?
Yes.
What does your father think about him?
Um, well, I was in foster care, but my
Yeah.
foster father kind of doesn't make comments about the people we're dating, like unless he sees like I guess like signs of abuse, like mental, physical and stuff. So he hasn't really said anything, but he seems like he likes him.
All right. Did you start dating him with the express intent of getting married?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did he start dating you with the same intent?
Of getting married, probably not.
Well then how does that work? If you started dating him with the express intent of getting married and he did not have the same intent, that's a disconnect right there.
But I mean, don't people like I mean when you first start dating somebody, I personally didn't think like, okay, I want to marry this man. I think like I made that decision like after a couple months of dating.
Oh, she made the decision. Never mind the guy, right? But she made the decision. It's almost like playing Pokemon. I choose you, huh?
Well,
And
that's the
I
problem. That's the problem. Dating is dumb because exactly what you describing happens. You guys decide you start to bond to somebody who does not fit. See, what's supposed to happen is let's just assume you are a wife. Then you should only be dealing with people who want to get married and are looking for wives. You have that conversation in the first conversation.
well, we've had that conversation. He's proposed to two other people before. So he's definitely marriage
What? What?
minded. Um,
No. You're
What does that have to do with you if he proposed to two other people before? Seriously, what does that have to do with you? Come on now.
you're listening to you're hearing what you want to hear. Did this man start dating you with the express intention that he wanted to get married? And you said no. So everything else doesn't matter.
um,
Confirmation bias, you will find a way to make it fit. And you ask me if I'm wasting my time. Why? Yes. If you're even if you're a wife, you're wasting your time. But are you a wife?
um,
No.
mm-mm.
That's why
I'm,
you.
I'm,
That's why
I
you're
would say,
wasting your time. Wives wouldn't waste their time. So that's one thing I can't say definitively. Wives don't waste their time. Wives don't waste their time with men who aren't looking to get married. Just like the other woman. She wasn't a wife. You're not a wife. That's why y'all are content to waste your time, and that's fine. But just know that. So when it ends, you can't blame the man.
so I don't know. Like I'm still having a disconnect because we've had conversations about marriage and stuff like that, and it's definitely something that he wants. It seems like the conversations that we
You just
have about marriage between us is more so a matter of um
He doesn't want to marry you. It's like the last lady. Men will talk to you about being married. There's a difference when a man talks about marriage and then a man talks about marrying you.
no, we did talk, no, he has talked about marrying me specifically. He basically has said that
Are you a wife?
See, what had happened was,
I don't really know. I don't
Were you raised to
know.
be a wife?
But I have things to
Were you
work on.
raised to be a wife?
Excuse me?
Were you raised to be a wife?
No, sir.
Okay. You have any siblings? You said you're in foster care, right?
Yes.
Um, why do you want to get married?
I want to get married because, for one, I was in foster care with my immediate family, and a lot of my family are married. And then I also want to be married because I'm a single mom, and I now see the importance of having a male figure around my child. I
so in other words, she's looking for someone to take care of her child. She's looking for a stepfather. I guess nothing else really matters at this point.
see the importance of having a man in my
Where's your
life. And
child's father?
where is my child's father?
Yep.
Um, since I decided not to be with him, he is not communicating with me anymore.
She decided not to be with him anymore. This is a man that she had a child by.
How old is your child?
She's 3.
There's all kind of things wrong with this situation.
It is.
You need therapy. You need to get your kid ready for some therapy. And you are not a wife and not ready to be a wife because you just described you want somebody to help you raise their kid. That ain't
Um,
no, ma'am. Please don't fight me on this one. You don't want to go where this is going to go. I understand you're a single mother. You're a 3-year-old, but there are red flags all over the place. And I'm telling you, marriage won't fix what's going on here.
well, I mean,
What I don't understand is why didn't she just try to work something out with the father of her child? Wouldn't that make more sense instead of going out here trying to look for another man to raise her child? Generally, other men don't look forward to raising other men's children. That's not how men generally operate. We don't go out here seeking to be stepfathers. Jeez. And it's sad because you have women like this, they'll leave the fathers of their child thinking that they're going to get out here and get better, but they don't. I don't understand it. Why not just be cooperative with the father of your child? Why do you have to make things difficult? Work something out.
I'm not looking for a stepdaddy per se. It's
Yeah, you are looking for a stepdaddy because if you're looking to get married, that's what that means.
Ma'am,
the
it'll be a goddamn stepdaddy no matter what you want to call it. Your
no.
husband, your husband would be a stepfather to your child. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. I understand
Thank
that.
you. Then it don't matter. Y'all don't want to call it, but you are. And let me correct you, man. You are looking for a stepdaddy before you're looking for a husband. That's how we look at it. We got to look at that the kid we're taking on cause you're a package deal. He's a stepdaddy first. He's your husband second.
And I don't agree with that.
I don't
What? What do you mean you don't agree with it? What is it? What? I mean, this alone proves that you just have no clue. And the sad thing is, you're fighting a man that's more than double your age, that has so much real world experience, and his advice is rooted from his years, his decades of experience and specific training and expertise in this field. And you're going to say you don't agree with it? If you're going to be disagreeable, why are you calling his show? I mean, seriously, come on now. You have to be a little open to just possibly that there's a problem.
Don't give a shit if you agree with it. You're not the one that has to take the risk.
Okay.
You got a daughter of a dude that ain't even talking to you. Cool. But that
And, to piggyback off of that, I'm pretty sure that she's in her feelings and her emotions, and I bet you she's not maintaining communication with the father of her child. She's being vindictive, she's being trifling, all the classic hallmarks of a bunny boiler. That is it. She's trying to use her child as leverage against the father. She shows all of the signs of it. And to me, it appears that she's trying to get another man to make the father of her child jealous. She's trifling.
means a man is walking into a jacked up situation. And he has to. And do you want any more kids?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How many more?
2.
So if a man were to have 2 children with you, every dollar he would spend on the 3 kids, 66 cents of his dollar would go to his 2 kids, and then 33 cents would go to another man's child. How is another man's child an asset for for another man?
By far, one of the most difficult questions women can never answer. And oftentimes, instead of them holding themselves accountable, they get mad, they get all into their feelings and emotions, and they try to avoid it. But the reality is, the situation is going to remain the same regardless of the situation. It's good to just really acknowledge it and kind of, look for ways to improve the situation. Me personally, I mean, she should just try to work something out with the father of her child. She already has one child by the guy.
I mean, why couldn't I make that same argument since he has a
No,
child?
ma'am, you can't answer. So you can't see what you can't do is answer a question with the question. The question I asked was, how is another man's child an asset for another man?
The child is not an asset to another man.
So the only way to make it make sense is you got to make another argument. And that's the problem. That's the issue. A stepfather is a bad deal today.
And that's the thing. A lot of women that are in these situations, they try so hard to make it make sense. But then when they know it doesn't make sense, they revert for shaming, insulting, and guilting men. That's all they revert to doing because they have no other means of validation beyond kind of coercing a man to conform to some sort of lifestyle that they hope to gain. Um, like I said, for a woman like this, it's better for her to just go back to the father of her child and work something out with him. Go back to the father of her child.
Because they don't get the respect. Number 2, you didn't come in saying, I want to come in and support a man in his dreams and desires and what he wants to build in this. You said,
And her body language says a lot. And we see this. Women today, they want to sit around with their arms folded and they're supposed to just get whatever they want just because they want it. And for women like this, unfortunately, the reality isn't going to probably hit her until she's 35, 40. But then by then it's too late. And she's really in for it. Hopefully she could get herself together, speak to a therapist, maybe some sort of guidance counselor, and maybe they could work out some sort of strategy to help her basically for one, get her emotions under control and in check, and then kind of rewiring her mental state because she has a false premise of what a man should be doing and what value she could bring to a man.
I see the importance of having a man around, and I want to have somebody. It's all about you and what you need. But what about him? And
Well,
he has to step in. If he marries you, ma'am, your child is a liability. In the way you don't want to look at it this way, but your child is a liability. Meaning this: if he has a dollar, if he has $100, are you going to allow him to put $100 onto his kids and zero onto your daughter?
um,
Man,
The answer is no. The answer is no. They try so hard to make it make sense, but the answer is no. She would never allow that.
don't even make the come on now. If if
it,
if he comes back with a pizza, he
no,
comes
I
out
would.
with a pizza. Comes out with a pizza. And the pizza has 12, and the pizza has 12 slices. He gives three to his son, three to his daughter. He eat three, you eat three. Your daughter gets none.
That would be a problem.
Exactly. So he has to provide for your daughter like it's his biological child. True or false?
Yes, sir.
That's not a good goddamn deal for any man.
It may not sound like a good deal, but I feel like
Oh boy. The infamous I feel like this should be good.
I'm not just looking for a stepfather. Like I've committed a lot to him within these past couple months. Like I currently work for him. I quit my job to work for him. Um,
Wait, who is she talking about? Her current guy? Or just any man in general? Well, anyway, even if she's talking about the current guy she's in a relationship with, um, he's probably not taking her serious. I mean, usually women who have children, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but we're going to keep going.
like I've been trying my best to like I'm very submissive to him. I listen to him, and I'm very supportive of everything that he's doing. And
You're supposed to be. That's a given. Congratulations.
it when I started to date him, that's when I started to think more realistically
Ma'am,
about
the
I
things I'm saying, things I'm saying to you fit any single mother. So I'm not. It's
True
not.
that.
It's not about you. It's just the fact that having. I've been a stepfather. Okay, look, it's not a good deal. Okay, if he
She
chooses to take
crying?
on the responsibility, just understand that it's not what most men would do. And my thing is, if a man is willing to take on the responsibility of another child today, um, I don't know,
I feel
man. I
like
hope he,
it's
I hope I hope he gets I hope he gets the reverence he deserves.
I just feel like that's putting stereo. I just feel like that's putting me in a box with other people
Yeah,
because
it's called a baby mama. That's
Yeah, exactly. There's a such thing as that, and you're classified as that. That should not be a surprise.
where you are. You're a baby mama.
no,
That's right. You're in the
that's
box. You're in the
what I'm
baby
referring.
mama box. Yep, you're in the baby mama box. You ain't special. Nope.
I'm
Y'all all think
I'm
y'all
not.
special. Y'all all think you're special. You pick. Look, man. Like it or not, I'm trying to be as nice as possible, but you ain't gonna run that shit over here. You made a baby with a dude that don't even stick around. You're not. You're
But, also, I'm pretty sure you get her version of things and then you get the father of her child's version of things. I'm sure he's going to have a very different uh, experience and uh, story to tell versus how she put it. Because according to her, she's the victim. He's not communicating, but
you're not an ex-wife. You're not a widow. You're a baby mama. That's a
That's not.
box. That's a
That's not what.
box. That's a
But that's.
box.
I understand. That's not what I'm talking about, though. What I was referring to was the comments that you like. Well, specifically, what I was thinking about was when you said how stepfathers don't get the respect that they deserve, because that's the
They don't
conversation.
from they don't
Well, they don't. They don't because at any given time, you there's so many liabilities that come along with being around women with children that are not the biological children of the men that could be quite problematic. So, yeah.
get the respect from society like they used to. They don't. They don't. They don't.
But
Stepfathers have no rights.
why should the respect of society matter when I respect him and I make sure my child respects him?
The fact that you asked that question just shows how little y'all understand who we are as men. That to men that question answers itself. And the fact that I have to explain it to you shows the gap between female and male understanding today. Go in the comment section and look at what the men say to that. Your respect ain't enough. We live in a world to where your daughter is 3. When she becomes 14 and you have 2 more kids and she sees that her siblings are getting different treatment than she gets.
That could be problematic. And that will be problematic. Because children, they could see that. They could sense that. I mean, it could be quite obvious.
Mama, Dante looked at me a certain way when I came out of the bathroom. I don't like the way he's been looking at me. He asked me to do so and so. All it takes is one allegation, ma'am.
And, a perfect example of that is that women that accused a guy that she was messing around with doing shit with her son, and it came to be false, and she ended up ruining the guy's reputation and all of this other stuff. you know and even though the guy took multiple lie detector tests, there's been investigations. Her child couldn't keep his story straight. Her child admitted that he was coerced into speaking about that and coached. The mom is still adamant and content with uh, lying on the man that she was with to ruin his reputation because he's not interested in being with her. She's typical clout chaser, but um, you know that's a perfect example of what men that are not even stepfathers that come into the mix, and it's just so many liability involved. That's not even including having to deal with the fathers of the child, assuming that they're around, and that weird awkwardness, which could spell disaster on so many levels. But let's continue.
Snoop Dogg up on charges right now. It's being sued, not on charges, being sued right now.
I
Man,
think that's on the
And I find that interesting too, how Snoop Dogg all of a sudden have charges ever since he acquired Death Row Records. Shouts out to Snoop Dogg. That's really cool. Snoop Dogg is the full owner of Death Row Records now. They just announced the deal about it, but the moment that deal came about, accusations started to flutter in the air. So I find that interesting. But yeah.
parents. Like
you know the problem with what?
if,
The
I feel
problem with
like
the parents? The problem with the
no,
parents?
I want to clarify what I was trying to say. I feel like any child who makes a false allegation against a man like that is a fault on the parents, because I feel like
Okay.
that's an
Well,
early
why didn't you
indication.
marry your daughter's father?
Yeah.
Why did I not?
Oh, she can't hear that. Why did I not? Yeah. Why didn't you not marry the father of your child? That would make the most sense. This is a guy you had a baby by. Come on now. You had a baby by this guy, and now you leave him?
I feel like he was.
I feel like, oh gosh, I'm telling you. I feel like. That's so interesting. I feel like. Hmm.
After I had my child, I felt like he was not emotionally or mentally stable, and he
How
was
old is
not.
he?
I feel like he was not emotionally and mentally stable. So prior to that, he was anything and everything you could ever ask for. But then the moment you had a child, he was not emotionally stable. Come on. I mean, are you hearing what you're saying? Woman, get back with your child's father. Stop playing because you're just making things worse for you and your child. You're putting the two of you at great risk being out here and who riding and marching men through your place. I mean, it's chaotic. Your life is chaotic. Get back with the father of your child. Work something out with him.
26.
So you got a 26-year-old baby daddy and a 32-year-old boyfriend. And your child is 3 years old. Why'd you make a baby with a guy who's 2 years older than you and not emotionally stable before getting married?
Well,
Oh, that's a good question. I wonder how much accountability she's gonna take on. Let's see.
when
Well,
I first, well, when we first started dating, I did not.
you did not have a wedding ring and a marriage certificate. We know that. Why did you marry him?
No, when we were talking, me and my child's father had a conversation about
Yeah,
being
but you didn't
married.
have a wedding.
The wedding did not happen
No, it
according
didn't
to.
happen. So you weren't married.
I'm Yes, and I'm saying that
She's still trying to explain a very simple, very simple question. And it's like, this is something you didn't require from your the father of your child, but now you want another guy to come in and marry you. Now that you have a child.
the marriage did not happen according to him because he did not
No,
go
no, it
to the
didn't
men.
happen according to anybody. You didn't have a marriage certificate. You didn't have a justice of the peace, a judge, a ceremony. Not according to him.
And there's just no excuse. You don't need an expensive ring to get married. You could go and buy a recyclable ring for $100 a piece. There you go. You don't need the most expensive ring. You don't need a lavish wedding. Get married. Move forward. There's so much other stuff you need to start having to deal with instead of worrying about a lot of other stuff. But
Him.
I ain't gonna say shit.
Did you get married legally? I mean, what do you mean not according to him? According to
Yeah,
the law, it didn't happen.
no, yes, we did not get legally married, but what I'm
Okay, then
saying,
why did you do that? Why did you have a baby coming from foster care, knowing how
She's
important
trying
family is?
so hard
Why do
to
you have a
explain it
baby
away, but
before
she just
getting
can't.
married?
because I thought that man was gonna marry me, and I
No,
thought he was
no,
gonna.
no. Is that what's supposed to see? You said that if a kid does something, it's to follow the parents. Okay, well then this is the parent who decided to have a baby before she got married because you thought he was gonna marry you. You know one way to
Yep.
ensure that. You know one way to ensure that is to get the marriage first, right?
Yes, sir.
Then you wouldn't be in the position you're in right now. Because
But
you
that's
are in a box. You are in a box, ma'am. And here's the thing: you need to understand the box you're in is what the men say it is. Men look at baby mamas different than they do single mothers.
True. Very
Women who are
true.
married and had kids. You didn't make a good choice. Because understand something: any man that marries you has got to look and say, "You married a dude that was 2 years older, unstable. Then why does he want to raise inferior DNA? Let's just
why
get
would I
real.
call
Why
his
would why
child?
would a man want to come in and be a stepfather
What?
to inferior DNA? You said he was
Why
mentally unstable or whatever, and not in this case life.
would DNA? That's not fair to me. He has a child
Who
as
cares
well.
about
Fair.
fair?
So why does he get?
Most scenarios, men always get the short end of the stick. All the time. 95.999% of the time, men get the short end of the stick. Can't give a man anything, otherwise, it's not fair.
Get a pass when he's a single father, but why do I have to why does he get more respect and I have more faith in him? But as
Well, assuming your boyfriend, assuming he does have a child or children, uh, you know, I could explain reasons why it'll be fair because being with him, being in a relationship with him, being married to him brings about stability, security, safety, a foundation, long term security, monetary gains, and so much more stuff. So that's what you're getting with a man, whether he's with children or without children. You're getting a double income. You're getting a second mind that's of reason, not emotion. You're getting a builder. You're getting just a conqueror. That's what you're getting. It's more expensive to have you. Do you understand that? It's more expensive to have your child.
It's like women are more
See, here it
acceptable.
is.
And
Women want fairness. Women want fairness when it suits them.
Only
I'm
when
This
not.
is
it's
what it is.
I'm
Why
convenient.
is it fair? Man, you want him to marry you.
no. But I'm asking a legit question. Like,
But no,
why is
you're asking a legit question. You ask, and I'm giving you the answer because you want him to marry you. Because we choose, because men decide who gets married. That's
but he
why.
want me like
Listen. Pack it up, calm down, and let me help you.
Why's she so mad? It ain't his fault.
Women choose who gets born and who has sex. Those are your choices. Men determine who gets asked for marriage. We control access to marriage.
Ooh, she mad. I mean, if you read her body language, she is mad. Her emotions are just she's seeing red at this point. Oh my gosh. I know that look all too well. When they look in the distant like that and they turn away, they get mad. She's seeing red. And when a woman sees red, nothing else matters. Their emotions just start. It's kind of like Majin Buu. They blow their top. Nothing else matters.
You control access to sex and who gets
And yeah, I just said Majin Buu for you Dragon Ball Z fans. Ha!
born. If you decided you wanted to have an abortion, could your baby daddy have stopped you?
no, sir.
Well, how is that fair to him? Oh, see, you accept the unfairness when it benefits you.
No, I did not accept the.
It's
Ooh, she
unfair.
mad.
True or false?
She
It's
crying.
unfair, and I did not exercise that.
Okay, so there is unfairness in sexual dynamics. And right now, you want to marry him.
But realistically, I think for this woman, I think there's still hope because even though it's hard for her to listen at the advice that Kevin Samuels has given, I do believe that there may be hope for this woman, but she has to change her mindset. Um, but I do think that, I mean, obviously she can't perform like her peers that are unmarried and without children, but I think she still may be able to get to a point where she may be able to find a decent guy. In terms of marriage, I don't know, but uh, typically most men in a situation like this, they're probably not gonna marry her, and as she get older, it only get worse. So, but I it's hard to tell, but I mean, there may be hope. I'm hoping that there's hope.
He's 32. He's got a business, right?
Yes, sir.
He's in a better position. So why does he get a pass? Because he's earned it. You haven't. That's the reality. I'm not supposed to say it, but that's the reality. Because he's 32, got a business. He can take care of his shit. Can you take care of your shit?
No, sir.
Huh?
And the fact that she admitted that, major kudos to her.
No, sir.
That's why he gets a pass.
And it's hard. It brings about tears, but that's good. Understanding, realizing the realities, and adjusting your mindset and behavior can bring about a reasonable solution in the future, because the way you think would be different moving forward. So, but it's going to take a lot.
That's how the world works.
Okay.
It's not about what I want you ladies to understand is it's not about fair. And men have been dealing with the inequities, lack of fairness in the sexual marketplace for the longest. Now we're starting to hear women talk about unfair. But understand, the child that he has, does he have custody of the child?
Yes, sir.
That means he's paying and providing for the child.
He has his daughter full time.
Right. And that means he'd have to take money out of his daughter's mouth to put in your daughter's mouth.
Yes, sir.
That's why he gets a fucking pass.
But what is the solution? Because we can't take away all these children that were had out of wedlock, and the purpose of me
The
listening to
solution to
you.
what? What is the solution to what?
What is this like? How do I get married? Like that's something serious.
Well, I mean, that's going to be hard. It's going to be up to him at this point.
It's like fuck having a stepfather. Like I really have a deep desire to get married, and I can't
Okay,
necessarily.
hold on. What is the solution for you? Hold on, breathe. Hold on.
She's going off.
You asked what's the solution? Are you asking me a solution for what do we do with baby mamas? What are we talking about
No,
you?
I'll do somebody like myself get married if y'all keep putting me in this box and I
No,
don't
man, you
get.
put your
Well, no, it's not y'all. Why are you saying it's y'all? It's you that did this. You're the one that made the bad decisions, not us. Because, and it's not a man's fault, and specifically, it's not a black man's fault. It is your fault. You're a statistic. It is not our fault. You did that. Now you have to deal with the consequences. Again, your best course of action, you have a baby by a guy, he's 26. Go and try to be back with him. Why are you out here dating all of these men? Or why do you have a boyfriend? Because to me, looking into the mix, it just looks like you're trying to make the father of your child jealous and you're trying to give him a hard time. Why not work something out with him? You still might have a chance. This is why I go back to when I was saying earlier, there may be a chance with you, but you have to go back to the father of your child. Stop trying to have another guy marry you. You would have a better opportunity with the father of your child. It's, I mean, this is a guy you had a baby by.
yourself in the box. We didn't do this. You did this. Don't put that on me. You did that.
My question is, how do I get married if all you're going if the man that
Well, you want the answer?
I have a
You
child?
want the answer?
Yeah, you have a child.
The chances are you don't. It's highly likely you won't. And that's what we need to start telling women.
Yep. Straight and to the point. No beating around the bush. It's time to be serious because this is getting out of control and it's getting out of hand.
If you decide to make a baby before you get married, you are unlikely to get married. Every other race seems to know this. We got black women are married at a 26% rate. So the notion that the least married race of women.
And to piggyback off of that, that's all men. There's no other race of men swooping down in droves looking to marry black women. Black women are not marrying no one. I mean, 1 in 4 black women will marry. You can look at it for yourself. It's on blackdemographics.com.
Women would do anything to further complicate chances of marriage is insane to us men. You may have had different family circumstances, but you were born in this country. You knew better. You knew what happens having a kid before marriage and after marriage. You know all that stuff, but you chose to decide to do it out of order. So now you take what comes along with it. It comes
Consequences and
along with the box.
repercussions. And to add to that, when men make bad decisions, there's no way for us to really be bailed out of it. We're screwed. We have to tread lightly and carefully. Whereas when a woman makes a mistake, they're often given the benefit of the doubt, and there's no accountability. It's the man's fault. It's society. It's segregation. It's racism. It's everything else except the behaviors, the traits, the attitudes, the mindsets, all of that of modern day women.
People who had
What
a couple.
you want people and what women like women and what you want won't happen. You want men to say, "Well, she was young, it didn't happen." All right, that comes on an individual level. Individual level. Somebody has to be willing to. Okay, let's look at it this way. Take it away from you, so it's not so personal. Okay, somebody can go to jail. Somebody can go to jail for a felony.
Yeah.
All right. They got that on the record. Let's say it's for some really bad stuff. Let's say it for
Okay.
something. Let's say they got accused of doing something really heinous.
Okay.
Do they get to apply for jobs like they didn't have a felony?
No, sir.
No,
They're
they
screwed.
gotta live with that, and they got to be willing for some.
Probably 90+% of employers that they apply to, if you have a felony, you're not getting a job. Um, it dwindles the probabilities of getting a job substantially. Um, for those who are in that situation with felonies, if you're in that situation, you might be able to get your charges decreased. You could do some sort of oh, I forget, but some counties offer it where you can have a hearing with the judge, and they can downgrade your felony to a misdemeanor, and it helps some folks, but uh, it may consist of community service and a lot of other types of things before the judge would consider it. There are attorneys that specialize in this to help downgrade charges or even eliminate them. There's many instances where attorneys were able to fully eliminate charges, fully wipe them from your record. So um, you can work with an attorney uh, to get this done. But just a side note for those of you who have a felony conviction, um, there is a way to get it downgraded in some counties. Um, of course, it different states, different jurisdictions, different municipalities. They may have it available, they may not. They may allow it, they may not. It just depends. But just do your research. Um,
Somebody to take a chance on them. They can't. They can say it's not fair, but that's how the marketplace works. But I got to ask a question to you now, because see, I don't have the benefit of people feeling sorry for me because I'm crying. How is it fair
true.
for you as a mother of as a single mother with a child with a man that you said was behind the curve? He was mental, had some mental whatever going on, whatever, immature and young. How is it fair for you to take your child and ask another man to raise it as his own?
Ooh, good question. Good question. I'm waiting to hear this. This should be interesting. Everybody ready? Here we go.
How is it fair to him when you said that child is going to be a liability to him? How is it fair?
Life ain't fair.
What? Wow, that just went. She just dismissed that. She's like, life ain't fair. Wow. See, now with an attitude like that, she's not going to get anywhere. I'm taking that shit back. She has to change her attitude. Life ain't fair. I suppose when it's not convenient for you, then it becomes a problem, right? You have to take everything with it, but acknowledgement is key. That response is unsatisfactory.
How the fuck can you say that and then ask me how this should be fair to you? If you can understand it that way, shut those tears off.
Oh, I love Kevin Samuels. He's just, oh man, he's a remarkable man. I swear.
You can be that fucking cold hearted when it gets that way. See, gentlemen, you see how quick she was willing to say fuck you to the men?
Yep. I mean, in an instant, went from crying, sobbing, seeking sympathy, went from frantic, oh, how do I get married, to calm when things are not in her favor. Life ain't fair. Jeez. How the hell are we going to get anywhere as a people? There's a lot of work that's needed.
But yeah, she got these crocodile ass tears when it's her feelings hurt. That's why I want my critical detractors to say they got no problem putting this shit on men. But then I ask them, how's it fair to have to go raise another man's kid? Life ain't fair.
The reason why I said that is
I don't
because
care why you said it, man. I don't care how you said it. That sounded fucked up. But I'm glad you were honest because that's how you really felt.
Yep.
no, that's what you just told me, that life is not fair. That's why I said that.
Yeah, okay. You're responsible for the words that come out of your mouth. You're not gonna make it seem like I put those words there.
I'm not
That
saying
that,
that.
that dog won't hunt.
What I'm saying is that's the
Man,
But like I said, her behaviors, her body language says a lot. Just look, I mean, come on now. She doesn't have her emotions in check. And I bet a dollar that she's given the father of her child such a hard time, he can't get anything through to her.
answer my question. Answer my question. How is it fair that another man has to raise your daughter?
She's not interested in following a man. She's not interested in following the father of her child. And so she's bringing another man into the mix to make the father of her child jealous. You know, I mean, yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
it's not fair.
Then why are you asking for fairness?
When I was asking for fairness, I, I was being fair by accepting him and this child.
You're not accepting him.
See, she make it seems as though, or she's making play that she's accepting his child, her boyfriend, the guy that she's with right now, a 32-year-old guy. She's accepting his child, therefore, he should just be accepting of her child in her situation. Again, he brings a lot more to the table than she does. A lot more. She needs his resources, and she knows it. But she's making play that it's equal across the board. No, ma'am, it is not. He's taking on a big liability.
Ma'am, he has his own daughter to raise. How is it fair for him to take food and money and resources from his biological child to share it with your biological child who is not going to be an asset? You're not
Because
doing. Listen, ma'am. Listen.
wait,
If it was not you, if it was not you, you would not see that this man is being done any favors. He's helping you out.
Yeah.
he is helping me out, but the reason why I don't feel like I am such a liability to him is because
Oh. Well, I guess that clears it up because you don't feel like you're a liability because you make those determinations, not men, because men are not the buyers. Men are not the ones that are looking in. The men are the ones that don't make the decision. So as long as you feel like you're not a burden in any capacity, that's totally fine. What the hell were we thinking?
my role in his business directly affects the financial. I do help him. I
How
do
long has
help
he
him.
been in business?
Excuse me.
How long has he been in business?
I know at least one of his businesses has been around for 8 years.
I'm sorry, your little 6 months of doing something ain't that important.
Not at all.
I'm the first and only woman that's worked
Your
for
little
him. So
6 months of doing something ain't that important. This man had his custody of his daughter and was running a successful business before he met you.
True. You're not the major determining factor as to the business's success. Sorry to say, you're just not.
Don't diminish that man like that.
I'm not trying to diminish him.
You
I just
said
felt
no. Well, what I did, what you did, his business was around 8 years.
I was not trying to diminish him. The
The
reason why
issue is, ma'am, you're in a situation that you don't.
She's trying so hard, but she just doesn't. She can't grasp the realities. It's so hard for her. And this is why therapy is so important.
Like, and you're trying to balance it out, and it won't balance.
That's not
It
true.
won't balance. It's like a square wheel. It will not roll. It will not roll.
Breathe. There you go. Breathe.
And this is what, and how about this? Let's go to it a different way. If at 19 years old or 18 years old, you had known then what you know about being a single mother now, would you have chosen, would you still make the choice that you did to get pregnant?
No, sir.
That's all we need to know. That's the test of a decision. Would you do it again?
But I never decided to be a single mom. I woke up one day and was like, I want to be independent.
Yeah, you did decide to be a single mom because you left the father of your child, because you want to be uncooperative with him, because you want to do whatever you want, because you chose to leave because of communication and because you were feeling some type of way. Yeah, you did make the decision to be a single mom. It's not his fault, it's your fault. And keep in mind, this is a guy you had a baby by.
That was never my mindset. I've been wanting to be, and I've been marriage since I was probably 18. I actually thought.
You got pregnant before marriage. That makes you a single mother.
I understand what that makes me, but
Then
that
you
doesn't.
woke up and decided to be a single mom.
I woke up to do what was best for my child. I did not feel.
No, you woke up to decide what's best for you and your emotions. Because what's best for your child is to have her father in her life. Boom! That's what's best for your child, not for you to be single and independent and having another man raise your child. That's not the best for your child. That's. I'm going to just keep rolling. This is insane.
You got pregnant before you got married. You decided to be a single mother. That's
Right.
what makes you a single mother. And the more you dance around that issue just because you don't like the classification, it's still a square wheel. And it's only going to impede your progress because you're fighting against reality.
So I should just break.
The reality, and here's the reality: the market get to decide. Let me net it out to you. Ma'am. Who gets to decide the price of a vehicle, the price of something? The person who's buying or the person who's selling? Who gets to decide the value? The buyer or the seller?
Initially, the buyer. I mean, not the buyer.
Not initially. Not
Seller.
initially.
Initially, the seller.
No, the seller sets a price. The
Yes.
buyers determine whether or not they want to pay that price.
Okay, so I had it backwards.
Right. So that's how that works. The men are the buyers. And sorry, the buyers, men, value single mothers less than women with children. And less than women without children.
If I'm gonna just be honest, like what I feel like, not what I think you're doing, like what I'm getting out this conversation is that I just need to end my relationship and start being a single mom.
No, you need to get back with the father of your child. You don't need to be a single mom. And then you're going to get more mad because you're just going to be more of a statistic.
Like it sounds like it's no hope for a single mom.
Well, because you're chasing a fantasy. You're not in this for any sort of reality. So, yeah, any hope that you thought you had to get better than the father of your child, yeah, it diminishes substantially. You're back on the dating market with a child. What do you expect?
What you do, no matter how hard you try, like that's really what I'm getting out the conversation.
And I don't
want to be. I don't want to be like my uncles, my aunts that bitter and not married and bitter and divorced.
But you're growing to that point. You're just going to be another statistic. You're growing to that point.
Like I want to make a change, even though I did make a mistake, but but in a conversation, I fucked up so bad, I probably can't do anything. I just feel like I
Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am,
start being
ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. I want you to go back to the beginning of the conversation. Did this man start dating you with the express intention of wanting to marry you?
if I'm honest, I don't know.
Well, then that's the problem. See, so don't tell me what you're getting off of this conversation when you started dating a man knowing you wanted to be married and you didn't get that clear first. See, that's why
But
I'm good at what. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll let you speak. That's why I'm good at what I do. Because you try to put yourself into the what you're getting is you're not dating on purpose. You're not choosing a man based upon the outcome you want and the situation you're in. You're not
that's not
getting buy-in from that
She said it's not
initially.
true.
So if you find yourself 6 months down the line, quitting your job, working for a man, you're trying to put a square peg in a round hole to reverse engineer a relationship to be a marriage. Did that man start off dating you with the intention of wanting to get married? If the answer is
that
no, then you shouldn't have dated him.
that doesn't. I can't understand I can't understand this because I don't
What do
think
you mean
when
you
you
don't
start,
understand it? What do you mean you don't
I'm,
understand it? Hi, John. Hi, John.
like
My name is. What's your first name?
Maya.
Maya. Hey, John. My name is Maya. How you doing? Yeah, I think you're cute. You think I'm cute? Uh huh. You want to go out? You want to go to a date? Cool. Well, guess I'm looking to get married. I'm only want to date towards marriage.
That
See how that
conversation
works?
has
Do you
happened.
want to get married? Do you want to get married? Okay, so you only want to date towards marriage too? Okay, great. And what kind of time frame do you want to get married? Oh, in 2 3 years? Oh, that's too long. Hope you find what you're looking for. Click close next. That ain't hard to understand. Pretty straightforward.
But that
Pretty
conversation,
straightforward, is it not?
yes,
Is
but
it was that straightforward?
yes, and that
Okay.
conversation happened. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We had the conversation of I want to get married. I want to have a wife. I want to make
Well, if he hasn't proposed to you, then he's probably thinking that you're not wifey material. So at this point, if you've been with him for a while and you're not getting the outcomes you want, it's probably because he sincerely does not want to marry you because you're probably not wife material. He'll have fun with you, sure, but you're not wife material. Go back to the father of your child.
sure I'm with somebody
What kind of
that
time frame did he say he wanted to be married in?
that's the one question I did not ask.
Well, then that's not the see what you just said is that's the conversation that happened, folks. And I've asked one question, and that just shows that's not what happened. That ain't what happened. So I don't
The
trust,
conversation that
ma'am. You
happened was
did, that ain't what happened. So I don't trust your recollection because you said that's what happened.
no. When I said that's what happened, I was referring to the conversation of do you want to get married?
Yeah, he wants to get married. Wants to get married, ma'am. Does he want to get married? Yes. In what time frame? You didn't ask that question, but you knew that you wanted to get married in a short time frame. That's on you. But here's the other question. Just because he wants to get married doesn't mean he's going to marry you. He may
But
have
that's
dated you, Josh. He may have dated you and said, you know what? I don't like it. I don't like this. But see, that's the thing. If you're serious, you should check in. You said you quit your job and all this other stuff. Did you quit your job based upon what? Him putting a ring on your finger? An
no,
engagement?
no,
A conversation about we're getting married, right? Because you already had a baby, thinking a man was going to marry you, right? Shouldn't
right.
you have learned from that?
I mean, yeah, I'm not
Shouldn't you have
having.
learned from that?
I did. I'm not having a baby with somebody
No,
that's not gonna.
but you're still making life altering decisions for you and your daughter, and you're not getting shit clarified. See how that works?
Yes,
Comes
sir.
back to you. What? I mean, did I miss something? I mean, that comes back to you, man. I mean, it's not on him. It comes back to you.
And one thing I want to add too, like I said, I'm just going to keep repeating this. she has a better chance getting back with the father of her child. She needs to work something out with him. That's her best bet. She's trying to start something else with a new guy because her feelings and her emotions were tampered with the father of her child. And she decided to leave that relationship for whatever reason. And she said it was for her child, but it was really because she doesn't have her emotions in check. Because again, this is a guy she had a baby by. But, anyways, I'm going to end this right here. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because, hey, I'm going to be posting some more stuff. We got to get serious about this. We got to put more stuff out there and bring more awareness to this because this shit is insane and it's becoming worse and worse. We have to keep the fight going. But until then, peace. I'm out.